I've been watching so many videos about the rat race, people trapped in big cities, having on paper really good jobs with high salaries. Like, just to give you a bit of background, I'm what people would have called back in the day like a high earner. Like, in the country I live in the city, I live in the capital, I'm definitely in the top 5% of earners in the country. So I make six figures, but like low six figures, right? I work in investment banking as a quant, and I'm not a homeowner yet. I'm trying to. I've been trying to for years, but every time, like just to give you a bit of, every time I try to make some headway, some expense comes through and erases like 6 months of progress that I've made. Like just last month, I had a letter from the tax authorities saying that, because my income surpassed a certain threshold, I was due to pay more tax, and that wasn't automatically paid by my employer. So now I've got to pay back. So that's like a 4 to 5 grand tax bill out of nowhere that I got slapped with. And I'm trying to look at homes that I can buy where I'm trying to avoid the trap where I buy a home and that sort of cuffs me to a mortgage and to the country that I currently live in. Like, I still want to have freedom to move somewhere else if I get a better offer or better taxes. I'm not just buying a home to enslave myself to the system, right? But it's really hard because everything I try to do, like I've been viewing these homes, these houses, and any house that I would actually want to live in, it's oh right, I'll tell you, I'm in the UK, right? So any home that I actually would want to live in, that's kind of like in the city and not on the outskirts, not on some fringe. Any home, it's got to be a flat, and it's what they call a leasehold. So therefore, you don't actually own the flat. You buy, you're paying with your blood, sweat, and tears to buy a flat, but you don't actually own it. You own like the right to occupy it for 100 years, and that costs you 500,000. And if you want to buy an actual house where you actually own the whole thing, you have to go all the way outside, out of town, like outside of the city. Like, you have to take a train into the city. And the problem is, to even afford to buy anything right now, you have to be working in finance like I do. And I don't mean to afford it like cash down, money down. Like, I mean to afford to even get a mortgage. And rates are so high right now as well. Like, because I'm looking at the things that I'm looking at that I would actually be okay to live in that aren't absolute shitholes. We're talking 500,000. We're talking 500,000, and that's stretching it. That's towards the lower end. Like, the things that I would actually be happy to live in, we're talking 550. The problem is, I need to be tax efficient with this because even leveraging every advantage that I have as a first time buyer, I get a little bit of a tax relief, but if I go 1 pound above 500,000, that tax relief is all gone. So I automatically get slapped with a 10K bill. So when I put everything down on paper, like taxes, like lawyers, like financial advisors that I need to involve in the process, every single one-time, one-off tax that I have to pay, we're looking at like 50 grand cash down that I need to put down to even put my name on a place. And then you've got the mortgage to worry about. But the thing is, I'm renting this place, so I'd just be I would just be swapping my rent for a mortgage on a place that I actually own. But the problem is with my rent is that, if something happens, like, I can just leave. There's a new bill that's just passed that means that as of next month, renters have all the power. Renters have all the power. So that means if I want to leave my current place, I only have to give 2 months notice. At any point, I can just go. Or 4 months. I know it's 2 or 4 months, but that's pretty fucking good. It's like that gives you a lot of freedom, a lot of power as a renter. The problem is I was looking to buy a place, but I don't think of it as a home. Like, I'll live in it for a while, but I want to be able to treat it as also an investment. Like if I need to move to Dubai or to Singapore or to somewhere else to work to make even more money, then I need to have the flexibility to leave the place to be rented out to somebody else, and they need to pay the mortgage because that's what landlords have been doing in this country for decades, right? So, but now I find out, oh, actually, if you try to do that, the building might have something to say about it. They might just not let you do things like Airbnb, like short-term lets. And the thing is, you don't want to do normal rentals anymore because, like I just said, renters are going to get a lot of fucking power, which is great for me right now as a renter, but I'm about to become a buyer. And then if I want to become a landlord and rent the place, that's going to be a big fucking problem because then maybe I need to rent the place out for 6 months, then come back. And they wouldn't let me do Airbnb. Most buildings, you'd have to do it like I'd have to take risk. I'd have to do it like without telling them that it's Airbnb. And then the neighbors, if a single neighbor complain or has something to say about it, you're done. Like the whole scheme is done and you're still on the hook for £500,000, which is more than 500,000. The pounds are bigger than dollars. So you're on the hook for that money for potentially 30 years, 35 years. And you're betting that you've got the flexibility to come back come back to town whenever you want. If you've got a job, pay your own mortgage. If not, you leave, you go somewhere else. Somebody else moves in. That might not be possible if the neighbors have something against Airbnb, and then you don't want a renter that's gonna rent, and then because then they can just not pay your rent. They can just like find a reason to object to your rental payments, and then they get 6 months of not paying the rent, and the whole time you're still on the hook for that mortgage payment. So do you see how fragile this whole thing is? Just having a good situation in life. And this goes beyond just buying a house. It's been like that for me ever since I've worked. Like I've been working in like the city since I was 24, like ever since. And each and every single year, sure, I get a bit of a pay bump, but I was never comfortable, ever. Like, I was able to lock in a pretty good rental rate, a good rental deal when I was, in the pandemic, everybody was renting for below market value. And I was able to lock in a good deal. And my rental price has kind of gone up a little bit year by year, but it's still pretty good for the area I'm located in. But every time I go on holiday or anywhere, like I can never just comfortably. It's so fragile. It's like you're not gonna both have money to. You're not gonna both have the money to enjoy life and save for a home. It's like it's impossible to build wealth in this country. It is what it is.